Honest Clots Productions.
The original Tomb Raider was a massive success. So was its sequel. While the whole world was waiting for number 3 to drop, Core Design released a director's cut of the first game in 1998 called Tomb Raider Gold. In addition to the full game, it included a second disc with 4 new levels under the name Unfinished Business.
I remember being so excited when I saw it in a catalog. Little did I know I'd have to wait another 12 years to actually play it.
Why is that? Tomb Raider Gold is an MS-DOS exclusive, so these new levels were never released on PlayStation or Saturn.
Our family didn't have a computer at the time, so all I had was my anticipation for the upcoming sequel, which would be released the same year.
Later, when we got a PC, I bought Tomb Raider, but Gold was practically impossible to come by even back then. I finally got my hands on the add-on in 2010 and reviewed it. Man, that rather unusual video is a time capsule. It was the first time I showed my face on camera. That was not an easy time for me, but making videos helped.
So let's take a look at the add-on Tomb Raider Unfinished Business right away, shall we?
Anyway, it turned out to be a tough battle to record footage, let alone play the game. I only had a notebook with Windows Vista. Try running a MS-DOS game on that in 2010.
Meanwhile, another 12 years have passed and technology has advanced. Is it easier to get this game to run on Windows 10, and how do the new levels compare to the original game? It's time to play some MS-DOS.
GFrom, the gamer, the legend, he's come to show you the way in this world of games. GFrom reviews.
How do we get this game to run? I have several discs of Tomb Raider, but none with the add-on. Luckily, you can download Unfinished Business legally for free. Check out tombraiders.net for further information. I couldn't get the disc to run at all, so I said screw it and bought the Steam version. For this version there exists a patch that makes it playable on newer systems, so I downloaded the so-called Tomb Raider 1 automated fix, which includes improved graphics, resolution, added music and the add-on. And what can I say? It actually works. In 2010 I couldn't play the game with a controller because the menu would just spin to the right. Now I ran DS for Windows to use my DualShock 4 controller. That also works wonderfully. So now I can actually play the game without objects appearing behind me, the game crashing after loading 5 times, and use a controller with a big grin on my face. This is what dreams are made of. The MS-DOS version of the original Tomb Raider had a few differences compared to the console ports. Now it looks gorgeous, but back then on our old PC it sure as hell looked like shit. The save crystals are nowhere to be found and you can save whenever you want. That makes it much easier, and in contrast to Tomb Raider 2 on PS1, you can select multiple save slots. It even says how many times you saved. Another big change is the lack of music. With the exception of the title screen, you hear no music at all, only ambient sounds. While I love and prefer the orchestral score on PS1, the complete lack of music somehow makes me feel even more isolated, thus making this an interesting alternative. We even get to hear sounds that weren't on PlayStation. Some are from Tomb Raider 2 and some new ones are sprinkled in. Of course, with the patch, my version now has the PS music, so this is technically not the OG MS-DOS experience.
With the basics out of the way, let's check out the brand new 24-year-old levels. They're old enough to buy beer in any country, but I won't hold that against them.
Return to Egypt has us revisit the city of Khamun. The game itself doesn't give us any backstory or cutscenes to watch. It literally throws us into icy cold water and, wait a minute, this looks awfully familiar. Well, yeah, it's the Sphinx from the City of Khamun level, but the whole room is filled with water. What happened here? I love the concept of taking a well-known stage and adding a new spin to it. That makes it a whole new crocophant-infested experience. We start with only our trusty dual pistols.
Does Lara throw all of her weapons away after each adventure?
The massive amount of ammunition I had at the end of my last Tomb Raider playthrough would make the Panther encounters a hell of a lot easier. These predators are lurking in the weirdest places. Like, how did you get up there? I know you're cats, the climbing masters of the universe, but still. It doesn't take long before we find a shotgun. After revisiting some familiar rooms, we get to explore new areas. There sure are a lot of spikes around here. Good thing I can save anywhere. At first I wasn't used to it, so I kept forgetting it and had to replay more sections than necessary. The secrets are back, giving us all the more reasons to fully explore the levels. As we reached the top of this area, we emerge outside. In the main game we were only outdoors once in the Lost Valley. There the sky was pitch black. Here we see stars and it's beautiful. Gives me calm vibes. As calm as you can be in a trap-filled desert. Speaking of traps, don't get down into the crocodile pit. It's not worth it. I mean, look at this shit. I tried several times and it was a waste of medipacks, ammo and time. You'll get a chance to kill them one by one later. Here we also find the dual magnums.
Oh, how I missed you, darlings.
On this part I got lost and ran around clueless for a while. Once we find the right way, we make it to a room with 3 slopes and rolling boulders. It's a trial and error shitfest. A little frustrating for impatient people like myself, but not too hard to figure out. There sure are a lot of animals in this zoo of a level. The final area has us outside again. Oh no, a mummy. Okay, let's slowly walk towards it. What the fuck? What evil sorcery is this? Best to shoot them from up here. That was freaky. But what about the mummy over there? Will it wake up? Okay.
Supposedly the level is over, but we missed something important.
You can actually make it over to the sands behind the mummy, but the game is very picky about where you can go. Don't climb up to the cat or you will leave the level. The mummy is stuck down there and unfortunately there's no way for us to kill it. Screw you then. Apparently the sand is extremely hot. Just touching it kills you. There is a specific path you have to take. More unnecessary trial and error crap. It is worth it though, because here we find our final weapon. Dual Uzis with a bunch of ammo. The mummy is still complaining. I'm sorry bro, I can't help you down there. Oh shit, it was another one! Never mind. Now we can leave the level. Return to Egypt is a combat-heavy chapter with interesting stage design and great visuals. It feels different enough to make it stand out compared to the other Egypt levels. I still prefer City of Khamun and Sanctuary of the Skion, but would put it above Obelisk of Khamun any day. Temple of the Cat picks up where we left off, with a cat watching over us. Let's pick up this medipack and holy moly, what a dick! In this level we're under the night sky too as we approach a giant temple. The old Egyptians sure adored their cats. And boulder traps. How do we get up to the shotgun shells? There is a block. Oh, no way. Do I have to push it all the way there? Oh, boy. This took about 3 minutes. 3 entire minutes. Why? By pushing more blocks, we discover a new area. Which leads us... You gotta be kidding me. I did all that block pushing for nothing? I feel so... stupid. Anyway, with 2 keys in our possession we can enter the temple. In a dark corridor we have to fight another Black Panther. There is a light switch, but don't pull it just yet or you will miss a secret. We get to my favorite area of the game. When I saw this the first time I was blown away because I didn't expect to see moving textures on the walls. Even today I think it looks so cool and adds a whole new level of charm to the visuals and atmosphere.
What's the punishment for shooting big black cats in a cat temple? Hey!
G-Dog.
Death.
Here we have to find 5 keys to progress. A fun little scavenger hunt. The underwater section made me a bit nervous, especially when enemies can just swim through the closed gates. Cheater. Behind that door we can hear mummies. In the right angle we can even glitch the camera through the door to take a peek. Jump on the pharaoh platforms to open the door. These mummies are fucking psychopaths. Look at that crocodile staring at me like I'm next for lunch. And because we haven't dealt with enough mummies for today, here we have a room with 10 of them.
Double digits. 10.
Pray to the holy cat that they don't wake up all at once. It's a tedious section if you want to play it safe, because they run away all the time unless you're on the ground. All of them except one awake. Yeah, right. Sure enough, as we enter this large room with the giant steps, the mummy comes running up from behind. Sneaky prick.
The final secret is the worst one yet. Can you guess why I would say that? Could it have anything to do with blocks?
It sure does. This whole area is filled with blocks we have to push. I don't even want to talk about it because it took 10 minutes to get the secret and find my way out again. God, I hate blocks. Just as much as traps you can't see coming. Sometimes I feel the game hates me.
Dear game, I forgive you. Every time I think you're a piece of shit, you throw something amazing my way.
In this case, it's a giant cat statue we have to climb up. Only instead of fleas, this cat is plagued by batshit crazy mummies. Look at that, a cat with a cat in its mouth. Or in other words, the meow meow has a meow meow in its meow mouth. I love this climbing section because it feels very rewarding to get to the top. A switch rolls out the cat's tongue. Pull the switch in the meow mouth, approach the cat statue in the next room and finish the level. Man, this is a long stage. Took me about 90 minutes. Not only is it also combat heavy, but it has many different sections to explore. From a visual standpoint, it's the prettiest level in the Tomb Raider 1 saga and creates a sense of wonder and excitement. I could do with less shooting, but nonetheless, it's an outstanding chapter that would be among the best in the original. Except for these damn blocks. Like the name suggests, Atlantean Stronghold has us back in Atlantis. In fact, it continues exactly where Tomb Raider 1 ended. So the first adventure didn't end where we thought it did.
This of course means we're traveling back in time, given that the previous two levels took place a few months after the Atlantis levels.
Why are the levels in the wrong order? Take a fucking guess. Son of a bitch! Yep, here we go again. Mutants and incubators. Can't say I missed you. Good thing we keep the ammo and medicine from the future. That's video game logic for you. As I've only used the pistol so far, I have more than enough ammo for these beasts. And there are plenty of them, some with wings. At first I thought I was stuck here because I kept falling to my death no matter what I did. This room with the glass floor and incubators is pretty cool. Hey, get out of my face! Look at that fool sneaking around. Man, there are too many of these mutants. When you see them standing like that, you know there's trouble ahead. It truly feels like we're in hell with all these lava walls. Let's kill another one. Hello? Speaking of hell, how hot is it here? In this neat water section, there are just a few pickups and a secret. Holy shit, please don't wake up. Luckily, you can shoot them from a distance. It's not all shooting though. There are a few decent platforming sections added for good measure. Now we finally made it to the top and have to make this insane jump. Too bad the camera is so confused. The level ends with an encounter with a centaur. Let the shotgun take care of it. All in all, I think this is a very creepy level with, again, too many encounters for my taste. It looks more appealing than the original Atlantis levels, and I actually enjoyed most of my time here. The Hive is the final level, for real this time. The beginning has the worst section imaginable. More boulders than I can count are hanging from the ceiling. They are triggered depending on where you stand. If you look up trial and error in the dictionary, you'll see a big fat red boulder rolling off the page. With infinite saves it's manageable, but it feels like cheating in a way. In my eyes, this section is just plain terrible and I wish it didn't exist. Oh wow, chomping blades. Haven't seen you in a while. Here we have a lava room with timed doors. After killing another centaur, we enter a water-filled chamber with mutants shooting at us from the surface. These assholes are standing there like Michael Jackson at the start of his Dangerous Tour concerts. Only here, no one is applauding, just one guy booing.
You suck!
2 centaurs at once should make me nervous, but they are really easy if you just side flip.
Before starting this playthrough, I didn't remember too much about these levels, except one part.
This room right here has given me nightmares over the years. 8 mutants at once with lava pits to make it even lovelier. It's hell on earth. They don't wake up all at once and you're pretty much safe in the middle. You can wake them up if being slaughtered is your thing. It never ends. 4 more incubators. And then 8 more. And then 8 more. Most of them are empty. Huh. Behind the timed door we see a giant freaking egg. Is this the final boss? Nope. The level just ends. That was anticlimactic. No cutscene, no nothing. Just the credits. That's more than I got last time.
although the ending was kind of lame, because nothing happens, the screen turns black and you have to hit the Windows button. That sums it all up, doesn't it?
The Hive is not that great, unfortunately. There are over 40 mutants in this level, and that's just overkill. The boulder section is complete bullshit. At least my nightmare room isn't as tough as I remembered. The abrupt ending left a bitter taste in my mouth, and personally, I'm glad I'm done with Atlantis. For real this time.
So let's wrap this up.
Tomb Raider Unfinished Business, aka Tomb Raider Gold, aka Tomb Raider Shadow of the Cat, is a must-have for Tomb Raider fans. It feels so special to play 4 quote-unquote new levels for a game I know inside out. Kinda like DLC, but old school. Temple of the Cat and Atlantean Stronghold are top-tier stages, and Return to Egypt is really good as well. The Hive is the only level I could do without. It took me a little over 4 hours to beat the entire thing. This add-on apparently got inspired by Tomb Raider 2 when it comes to the amount of enemies you face. I can live with that in the Egypt stages, but Atlantis only offers different varieties of mutants, and that gets old after a while. Still, these bastards are scary and make these levels feel like you're playing a horror game. Thankfully, there's so much ammo and medicine everywhere that you'll most certainly never run out of bullets. I mean, look at how much stuff I had left again. Litterbug, Unfinished Business. Visually, it improves on the main game, with the Cat Temple being a prime example. I have mixed feelings about the sound. I love the new ambient pieces that aren't in the PlayStation port. Like I said, the original MS-DOS version had no orchestrated music, but this patched version does. While it's cool to hear these great tracks, I feel they play way too often. Like all the time. It gets to a point where it even pulls me out of the game a bit. Sometimes it doesn't even fit. This piece is more fitting when you find something mysterious, not while blasting magnum bullets at mutants. Worst of all is that the music repeats when you revisit an area. That happened sometimes in the original, but not this frequently. So I don't know. A little less music would have been perfect, I think, but that's just my 2 cents. In my ranking of the games I've reviewed so far, it's obviously at the bottom. Maybe it's not a fair comparison. It's so cool that they released new levels in the old engine with the old weapons and movesets, even though Tomb Raider 2 had already been released and improved on all these areas. And best of all, it's so much easier to play now than it was when I reviewed it in 2010. Just buy the original on Steam and download the patch. That's it.
This was a great experience, and I'll be happy to replay it every time I revisit the original.
Hey everyone, this is GFrom. Thank you so much for watching episode 5 of season 2. Feel free to rate, comment, subscribe, and follow me on Instagram. I'll see you later. Have a nice day.